You know what sin is? What is sin? I'm gonna prove it to you. Let's get sin for the brother. The book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 4. Sin is the transgression of God's laws. The word transgression or transgress means to break. So now when we break God's laws that were established, we are sinning. When we break God's laws, like committing idolatry, committing adultery, disrespecting our parents, disrespecting the elderly, like what just happened down the block. Disrespecting the elderly when those young girls beat that elderly woman, that is a sin. You said that some of your friends know something about it, right? Real quick, let me get, so now you understand that that's a sin. When we break God's commandments. I'm going to read for you one of God's commandments. Leviticus 5:1. So now God says if you've seen it or if you know of it, read, if he do not utter it, if you don't speak up against the sin in your community, what does God say? Then he shall bear his iniquity. And you bear the same judgment. You bear the same judgment. We are supposed to love our neighbors like we love ourselves. We're not supposed to bear, let me get that Leviticus 19:17. We're not supposed to bear any grudges against our brothers and sisters. We're not supposed to seek vengeance against our brothers and sisters.
2,000 years after the departure of Jesus the Christ, the prophets are back to teach the real Jews, the 12 tribes of Israel, their true nationality. This is their campaign.
Out of everything that we just went over, you already knew Christ is black, but now you can prove it according to Revelation 1:14. And those images that you had on your neck, according to Exodus 20 verse 4, is idolatry. That's a sin. You know what sin is? What is sin? I'm going to prove it to you. Let's get sin for the brother. The book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. Right? For sin is the transgression of the law. Sin is the transgression of God's laws. The word transgression or transgress means to break. So now when we break God's laws that were established, we are sinning. When we break God's laws, like committing idolatry, committing adultery, disrespecting our parents, disrespecting the elderly, like what just happened down the block.
Now to an Eyewitness News exclusive. They say they are living in fear, terrorized by a group of kids that comes to their building in the Bronx night after night. And these senior citizens say it's gotten so bad, they're afraid to come out after dark. Eyewitness News reporter Lucy Yang has the story from the Morrisania section.
Look in my eyes. I have not slept.
67-year-old Miriam Cintron and her neighbors live in a state of fear. They claim large gangs of young teens have been terrorizing their apartment building in the Bronx all summer, and it's getting worse.
They came at us. They beat us. They broke that stick from that tree there to beat us with the wood. We don't have no body.
Miriam says they broke the pole from the tree well and turned it into a weapon Saturday night as she fell victim to their violence.
They were kicking me in my side. They were kicking me on this side. It was punching me in my back, trying to get my face, but I covered.
63-year-old Nydia Carrero says a group of young girls the same night slammed her to the sidewalk, dragged her and pummeled her after she refused them entry into her building.
They wanted to hang out in the hallway and smoke pot and mess up the building. They go in there with bikes in there half the time.
This is 1294 and 1295 East 169th Street in the Morrisania section of the Bronx. Most of the tenants here are elderly. They tell me they are being swarmed, beaten, and robbed by ruthless teens who have turned their apartment building into an oasis of lawlessness and who apparently count on their youth to spare them. As the adolescents escalate the violence night after night, residents are left bruised and traumatized.
It's a shame. And they are telling us they're going to come back and burn the building down? It's ridiculous.
Many tenants have lived here for decades and they take care of each other, but they concede they are no match for this nightmare, which has claimed their peace.
Disrespecting the elderly when those young girls beat that elderly woman, that is a sin. And you said that some of your friends know something about it, right? Real quick, let me get, so now you understand that that's a sin when we break God's commandments. I'm going to read for you one of God's commandments, Leviticus 5:1. The book of Leviticus, chapter 5, verse 1. Bring it out. And if a soul sins, meaning what? If a person breaks one of God's commandments, read. And hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness. If he's seen it, read. Whether he has seen it or known of it. Or if you know about it. In your case, some of your boys know about what happened. Some of your boys may not be telling you, but some of your boys may know the young girls who beat the elderly woman. She was crying on the news. That's an elderly of our community. She's not of another nation. That's somebody's grandmother. That's somebody's mother. That's somebody's aunt. That's somebody's sister. That's somebody's daughter that was beaten by teenagers. So now God says, if you've seen it or if you know of it, read. If he do not utter it, if you don't speak up against the sin in your community, what does God say? Then he shall bear his iniquity. Then you bear the same judgment. You bear the same judgment. We are supposed to love our neighbors like we love ourselves. We're not supposed to bear, let me get that Leviticus 19:17. We're not supposed to bear any grudges against our brothers and sisters. We're not supposed to seek vengeance against our brothers and sisters.
Switch for Chevy.
You gotta go, bro. You gotta go somewhere. Do you understand what we were bringing out? All right. We're not gonna hold you, man. There's a website on the back and there's a YouTube channel on the back, right there. You see right there at the back? The phone number is a website and there's a YouTube channel. So look it up, bro. We're the Israelites. You're an Israelite from the tribe of Simeon.
Harlem was pushed, but at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana. Sierra Leone, 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.